Okay, so let's now have a look at the phobia model, a really popular NLP pattern and technique and highly effective.
The phobia model is incredibly fast because we're going straight in to change the submodalities and the representations that somebody holds about their phobic item.
Now you'll see in this demonstration that with our clients we double disassociate them from the phobia, and we do this in order to keep them safe and comfortable.
In this example, we'll be using a cinema metaphor to guide Anya safely through this process. We'll be scrambling her representations of how she does her phobia so that she can just let go of all of the fear and phobic associations that she currently holds towards spiders.
Okay, so what I'd like you to do is, again, you can just close your eyes, just relax for me now. And what I'd like you to do is to imagine your local cinema, or a cinema of your choice, somewhere that you've been before. But this is it's going to be a special day in the cinema because we booked it out just for you, so no one else can get in. And there's a special ticket. So what I'd like you to do is to go up to the front entrance of the cinema, and there's going to be a golden ticket there for you. And there's only one golden ticket, and that golden ticket's for you. So I'd like you to go in and pick up your golden ticket and wander through to the large screen. And pick up some popcorn and drink on the way through. And just when you wander into the main screen, I'd just like you to take a seat somewhere down in the middle of the cinema. Just place your ticket down and your popcorn and your drink. Okay, excellent. So no one else can get into this cinema, it's completely sealed off just for you today. So what I'd like you to do now is to imagine floating up outside of your body while you sit down there in the cinema and float up high and way to the back in the projection booth where the film is going to come down from. Way up there, so you can see yourself sitting down there in the cinema. Okay. And from this projection booth, I'd like you to imagine that you're surrounded by a 1-inch thick sheet of perspex. So nothing can get in or out of this projection booth, only you. It's now 1 meter thick. So 1 meter thick perspex screen all the way around you, completely surrounding you, so nothing can get in or out. It's a completely safe place. Just let me know when you've got that. Okay. This is a nice safe place, surrounded by this perspex in this bubble of projector room, and nothing can get in or out except for you. Okay. There's a completely clean space in that projection booth. Okay. So as you'll notice as you look down into the cinema, you'll see yourself down there in the cinema, sitting somewhere in the middle. Okay, excellent. And if you just take a look up to your top right, you'll notice that there is in fact a film, or a series of films. Okay, like in the olden days, or in these big projectors where they have the reels of films. Okay, and you'll notice just on one of those films, it has the film of the time that you created that phobia. Okay, so what I'd like you to do is just grab down that film and load it up into the projector, just on your left hand side. We're not going to do anything with it, we're just going to load it up, okay, from this nice safe place in this projection booth. Okay, so in a moment what I'm going to ask you to do is I'm going to ask you to watch yourself watching that movie in black and white from this nice safe place way up here in the projection booth. So you're going to be dissociated from it. You're going to be watching, in fact you're double disassociated from it. You're watching yourself, watching that movie way down there in the cinema. And at the beginning of that movie, we're going to perhaps white it out or pause it at some safe place. So before the actual event. So a nice safe place, and it's going to be paused. Now when we get to the end of that movie, it's going to be again, maybe whited out or blacked out or whatever you prefer, or paused at a nice safe place. So you have a safe place at the beginning and a safe place at the end. And you're going to watch yourself watching that movie in black and white. Okay. in a moment you're just going to press play and watch yourself watching that movie, black and white, nice safe place at the beginning, nice safe place at the end, just at normal speed. Okay, ready? Press play on that projector for me. And just let me know when that movie gets to the end. Okay, that's great. Okay, so that's that nice safe place at the end there. Yeah, okay. So now what I'd like you to do is to float up out of that projection booth and into yourself down there in the center of the cinema. Okay. Down there into the center of the cinema. And then up into that movie. So you're looking through your own eyes at that nice safe place in that movie. Okay. Now this time what we're going to do is that movie's going to run backwards, but it's going to be at double the speed. Okay. And you can perhaps add some funny music in there. Maybe all the sounds of the people, if there are people speaking, they're going to run double the speed. Or perhaps some like Benny Hill music. If you remember Benny Hill with that. Remember that music? Okay, so it's going to run at double the speed all the way back to the beginning, looking through your own eyes, back to that nice safe place at the beginning. You ready? Go. That nice safe place at the beginning. Great stuff. And float up out of that movie into yourself, into the cinema, and just take a seat back down in the middle of that cinema. And then float up out of your body and into that projection booth, that nice safe place. So you're watching yourself down there in the cinema. Okay, and I'd like you to press play on that movie, and you're going to watch yourself watching that movie in black and white all the way to the end, to that nice safe place at the end. Okay, so now I'd like you to float up out of the projection booth and into yourself into the cinema. Pick yourself up and go and look through your own eyes at that nice safe place in that movie. Okay, now we're going to run 4 times as quick back with that Benny Hill music, 4 times the speed, or whatever music or sounds you've put in there, in full colour, all the way back to the beginning at 4 times the speed. Ready, go. Okay, up out of that movie, into yourself, into the cinema, take a seat down, pick yourself up, float up out of your body and into the projection booth. Okay, we're going to press play on that projector in black and white to the end. Okay, and float up out of that projection booth into the cinema, pick yourself up and go and look through your own eyes at that nice safe place in that movie. And we're going to run it 8 times as quick all the way back to the beginning in full colour with that music. Ready, go. Okay. And up out of that movie into the cinema, pick yourself up and go out of yourself into the projection booth. That nice safe place in that projection booth. Press play on that projector, black and white to the end, nice safe place, ready, go. Okay. Up out of the projection booth, into the cinema, pick yourself up and go and look through your own eyes. Okay. 16 times as quick, all the way back to the beginning, full colour, ready, go. Up out of the movie, into the cinema, and up out into the projection booth. Press play on that movie, black and white to the end, ready, go. Up out of the projection booth, into the cinema, up into the movie. So you're looking through your own eyes, 32 times as quick, all the way back, ready, go. Okay, up out of that movie, into the cinema, up into the projection booth, press play, black and white, ready, go. Okay, up out of the projection booth, into the cinema, pick yourself up, go and look through your own eyes, 100 times as quick, ready, go. Okay, Up out of that movie, into the cinema, up into the projection booth, press play, black and white, ready, go. Okay. Up out of the projection booth, into the cinema, pick yourself up, look through your own eyes, 200 times quick, ready, go. Okay. Up out of the movie, into the cinema, up into the projection booth, press play, black and white, ready, go. Up out of the projection booth, into the cinema, looking through your own eyes, so you're looking through your own eyes, associated, 1,000 times quick, ready, go. Out of the movie, into the cinema. So what I'd like you to do now is to pick up your golden ticket, to come out of the cinema and back to now. Okay. So on a scale of 0 to 10, with 0 being spiders are great, to 10 being, oh gosh, where are you on a scale?
I feel 1.
Good. So, you know, because I like to test these things because, you know, these interventions are so powerful and they work so quick. So I can give you Boris.
Yeah, that's fine.
Wow. But I'd just like to say, well done. Well done.